hiring Deion Sanders as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and you know what comes along with Deion and coaching? His son, Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback. In my opinion, an overvalued quarterback.
You guys ought to know by now, man. Jason Whitlock, he just does not like Deion Sanders. There are certain things I feel like he goes, a bit to the extreme about. And this is a situation where I kind of don't know, like, what's Jason Whitlock's end goal. He's pretty much exposing Deion Sanders as a fraud. He does not believe in Deion Sanders. And he thinks that the worst thing that the Dallas Cowboys can do in this moment is hire Deion Sanders because of, obviously, you got ego with, Deion. I'm assuming that Deion Sanders is going to want to bring on Shedeur Sanders at some point, or maybe it's all a play in something that has been in the making for years now. We don't know, right? But I want to ask the Dallas Cowboy fans out there, now that Mike McCarthy is gone, do you guys think that right now, as of right now, this franchise can be turned around on the fly with a coach like Deion Sanders? And in my humble estimation, what I believe, regardless of what Jason Whitlock is going to say, because I don't know what he's about to say, guys, but I think that until Jerry Jones moves out of the way and there's a coach, a Belichick, and notice that you guys won the most with a Belichick-esque type of coach, Jimmy Johnson, man. Ever since Jimmy Johnson, Cowboys, hey, they can hold that reputation as long as they want, but it's kind of sad when you don't see the Cowboys being where they used to be. They just, I get it. You got diehard fans. Don't get me wrong, but man, almost 30 plus years, man. And there are a lot of franchises in the NFL, but you are the Dallas Cowboys, man. Like me personally, I don't think that the right thing to do, I don't think the brightest thing to do is to bring in Deion Sanders. You need someone who's going to come in and flip this organization inside out. But I just feel like regardless of who it is, it's going to be hard with Jerry Jones in a way.
Jerry Jones has had conversations with Deion Sanders about being the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Deion Sanders actually, I think, gave Adam Schefter a quote or talk with Adam Schefter about his conversations with Deion Sanders, with Deion's conversations with Jerry Jones.
Now, do you guys seriously think that, because sometimes you never know, Jerry Jones is he's a strategic businessman, and so is Deion Sanders. So do you guys think that this conversation is something that has been negotiated previously before this point? Do you guys think that the rumblings, because we started to hear these rumblings last year, right? Because Jerry Jones is the type of person, like, if it's going to, make the star more relevant, make the brand more bigger, he's all about the stars, right? Like, so I don't know, man. Like, maybe Deion Sanders would be the right head coach because of Jerry Jones's business-minded approach when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Because at this point, you hear on every show, they say, hey, Jerry Jones doesn't care about winning, right? And I feel like this will be kind of like the LeBron James Lakers situation where, like, you really don't want to get rid of a player of that magnitude. And on top of that, you want to draft his son because it's just better for the organization. So this could kind of be the same thing with a Shedeur Sanders and a Deion Sanders. Maybe this is going to be the standard trend across sports where, a father and son somehow either play together or being coached and whatnot, right? So this may be the new thing. I don't know.
Here's what Deion had to say, according to Adam Schefter. To hear from Jerry Jones is truly delightful and it's intriguing. I love Jerry. and believe in Jerry. After you hang up and process it and think about it, it's intriguing. But I love Boulder and everything there is about our team, the coaches, our student body, and the community. How do you read that? I read that as Deion's out of there. Deion is out of there.
Do you guys honestly think that Deion Sanders in this moment will pull the plug on Boulder and go to the pros when he says and has said that there is nothing in the pros that interests him because he believes that his calling is to groom and raise young men into being great men in the world? I mean, that's what Deion Sanders said. And I don't know, man. Money talks. We understand that Boulder, Colorado did just give him a contract extension. So, I mean, like I said, guys, this could be Deion Sanders possibly playing chicken, to get more money from Boulder, Colorado. Like that, this could be something of that nature. Because I think that, as good as this stuff sounds, like, of course, this is going to be discussed like literally like Lakers right now. The Lakers can be terrible and they're going to be discussed every single day because of LeBron James. This by far will be one of the biggest stories, if not the biggest stories in the NFL every week. And I do, honestly, guys, I think that Shedeur Sanders and his father do fit the Dallas Cowboys brand just off of charisma. They have fans and they just have that edge that complement the Dallas Cowboys. Like I keep telling you guys, the only thing that I would be worried about is Jerry Jones' ego not being the center of attention.
Jerry Jones making a complete mess. Did Jerry Jones not give Dak Prescott a $60 million a year contract? And now he's sitting here contemplating hiring Deion Sanders as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And you know what comes along with Deion and coaching? His son, Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback. In my opinion, an overvalued quarterback.
Now, there are a lot of reports about Shedeur Sanders actually not being a first-round grading draft pick. In my opinion, I think that Shedeur Sanders is C+, B- type of prospect, and that's my opinion. So, like, I know a lot of people out there are going to disagree. They're like, Coach Prime and his son, they're going to go off of the optics versus just the eye test. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of those people, like, I don't really go with the hype. I just kind of go, like, with what I know will work, what I've seen work, and how I know at the next level is going to be far more difficult than you being able to sit in the pocket and hold the ball 10 seconds and then throw a Hail Mary. It's just not going to work like that. But those are my opinions, okay? But the most interesting thing to me is the whole Dak Prescott contract situation would be another bone in this. And I think that that's going to be hell to get off of the Cowboys right now. I've heard rumblings of the Tennessee Titans possibly being someone interested in Dak Prescott or mutual interest. But I feel like, regardless if we see Shedeur Sanders drop or go anywhere near the Dallas Cowboys and they draft him, then I would expect to see Deion Sanders' name being mentioned more and more and more. But like I said, man, I hope that this is something that Deion Sanders is just teasing, because truth of the matter is I really do enjoy Deion Sanders being in college football. I mean, maybe he's grown tired of it. He did the same thing with Jackson State, 2.5 years, and it seems like now at Colorado it's been 2 years. Maybe that's just where he wants to keep climbing, up, in his football career at this point. This is just more things to put on his resume. But like I said, man, the Dallas Cowboys, man, they got a lot of figuring out to do, and they need to do it on the fly. Like the Patriots just got Mike Vrabel. The Dallas Cowboys should know where they are and where they stand and what type of personality, type of head coach they need to come into the organization to make it great.
That also means Jerry's going to have to figure out a way, if he brings Deion, he's going to have to figure out a way to dust Dak.
Exactly.
To make room for Shedeur. And there's all these wild speculative rumors. They're going to trade Dak Prescott to Tennessee for the #1 draft pick. And I'm like, I live here in Nashville, Tennessee. Y'all finna take on Dak Prescott and a $60 million contract? Tennessee Titans? Dak Prescott? You gonna double down on Jerry Jones' mistake and give up the #1 pick so you can be burdened with Dak Prescott's contract? I'm not so sure. Furthermore, I don't even think it makes good sense for the Cowboys to be orchestrating moves to trade up to get Shedeur Sanders. I don't think you have to orchestrate a move and trade up to get Shedeur Sanders. You can get Shedeur Sanders in the second round. You can get Shedeur Sanders in the third round. With Deion orchestrating, manipulating things behind the scenes for Shedeur, there's a lot of teams that'll be like, nah, I'm good on Shedeur. Nah, nice kid, nice talent, but nah, I'm good. I'm not breaking Deion's ego and interference into my organization. Deion wants him to play with Deion. We're going to let that happen.
I'm going to ask you guys, do you think that Shedeur Sanders would be a good quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys? And do you guys agree with Jason Whitlock? Like, because I disagree with Jason Whitlock on a part where he said he could possibly be a third rounder. I think that's a bit much. And it depends on the quarterback class, right? Like, this quarterback class it isn't too QB heavy, in my opinion. So I do think that Shedeur Sanders is going to go early for sure. I think he's going to go early. And I've heard the Browns taking him number 2, or somehow the Las Vegas Raiders. Like, you guys know that these are teams that need a quarterback. I mean, you hear the stuff that Jason Whitlock is saying, like teams are going to pass because they don't want to deal with Deion Sanders. But here's the thing. If Deion Sanders is a head coach for a college football team, I don't think that you really will hear from Deion Sanders, in my opinion. But, we saw the same thing with Caleb Williams. His dad was known to be very vocal about where his son was going to go. And we saw that come to a cease very quickly because, hey, like, these teams don't have to interview Deion Sanders. They don't have to let him into the practice facilities on the field. They don't have to do any of that. So I don't think that would be a problem is what I'm saying. But, it is what it is, man. There are a lot of mixed feelings about Deion Sanders being a head coach. A lot of people saying that if Jerry Jones doesn't hire Deion Sanders, then it's going to be racism. And I'm just like, it's so much that comes right now with Shedeur Sanders and his dad to where, like, I can kind of understand, teams turning away or not wanting all of that attention or not wanting to always be in the media for what you're wearing and doing this and that. But I feel like Shedeur Sanders, over the last season, I feel like he's kind of matured a little bit. He's kind of calmed down a little bit. I saw him cut his hair. That was a very political move. I see that he's not as flashy and noise talking as he was. I think that edge alone would be great with the Dallas Cowboys. Him holding up the money sign with a Dallas Cowboy uniform on would be pure gold. Jones thinks. So you guys tell me what y'all think about Jason Whitlock's take on Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders possibly coming to the Dallas Cowboys. Drop those comments in the comment section, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Yeah.